Nine, eight, seven, six, five, four, three, two, one.
All right, welcome back to Dirty Talk, Dirty 20 Bar Nerd Podcast. My name is Jason, and as somebody pointed out to me last week that I said 3 times, I am the owner of Dirty 20 Nerd Bar in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm going to try to stick to the one time this time, see if it happens. Behind the camera, we have Rich Brumpton. He is our producer and has provided us with this lovely equipment. And with me today, I have my old, I call it old, my old D&D group. I haven't played with them in... probably been about a year and a half now, right?
Yeah, thereabouts.
Because, I decided to open a bar. So, to my right, you have my sister, Danielle. We've known each other, obviously, our entire lives. We grew up together. We both got into D&D in 2019 at the same time. Actually, her and Dave and I, over on my far left is Dave, a friend of ours. We got into it about the same time. Our original group, it was me, you, Dave, and Ruth. That was it. Ruth DMing, and us 3 playing, and that was it. And then you brought Sarah in, and then we brought Jared in eventually. And to my direct left is Jared. You and I met at a tabletop gaming.
Yeah, it was the Fantasy Shop in St. Charles.
Right, Fantasy Shop in St. Charles. It used to be. I talked about this briefly last week. There was the Tuesday
nights they had tabletop games.
Yeah, and that's when we met. We played a few games together. We talked about D&D a lot, and then one day we invited you to play.
Yep.
And been playing ever since. Your experience with D&D is a little bit more.
I've been playing since college. So back in 2014, 2015, when I was in college, I have a lot of friends in the Air Force, and so we play online a lot. And then Pokemon Club I was in was like, oh, that would be fun to try. I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally DM. I did not know what I was doing in any capacity, so I decided, let's make it difficult and actually like homebrew an entire world of, hey, everyone's a Pokemon and everyone's a custom, class, race, all that. It was actually a lot of fun, but it was interesting. So I graduated, moved out here, and I'm like, man, I need a new group. And I was at the Fantasy Shop and met Jason, and he was kind enough to invite me.
Yep, and and then we have one other friend. Her name is Alicia. She's not here today. This group, fortunately, was here today. So the original plan was to have Ruth, my wife, on to discuss kind of like the process of the bar from concept to completion when we opened a year ago today on May the 4th. 2024. I don't know what year it is right now, to be perfectly honest. So I had to stop there for a second and think about what year was last year. So this is our 1-year anniversary. Thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you for everybody who is here today celebrating with us. It has been a fantastic year. I'm looking forward to many more years. When we went to go open, when we finally got all the licenses and permits and everything, we thought to ourselves, what more perfect day to open a nerd bar than May the 4th? And May the 4th be with you all. All right. So, anyway, we were going to. My wife and I were going to talk about all that today, but she was not feeling well, and so I had to scramble. Fortunately, these guys were already here at the bar, and I was like, "Hey guys, come talk D&D with me for an hour," and they were like, "I think we can do that." So. We're just gonna talk about D&D, our past campaigns. We're gonna talk about our favorite classes, favorite races, favorite parts of the campaigns that we played together. Just kind of chat about that for a little while. Thank you all so much for joining us. Somebody just put in the chat. This is Dan. Put in the chat. 525,600 minutes of fun. Yeah, love. That is fantastic. Today I am drinking, this is one of our new drinks. We just released a new drink menu this weekend. This is the Druid's Delight.
I had one of those earlier. They're amazing.
It is a very floral, very fruity, sparkling martini. Added to the menu just this week. Danielle's got a little bit of food in front of her. We finally got, I don't know if I talked about this last week. Did I tell you guys about the ricotta bites?
No.
So, did I tell you about this?
I always hear whenever you were like experimenting with it.
Okay, so we just rolled out that new menu back in March, at the beginning of March, and we've been to food shows, and kind of like when we were first opening, we tried so much food. We wanted to make sure we were getting quality product, like our toasted ravioli. Our toasted ravioli isn't overly bready, and it doesn't have too much filling. It's kind of perfect, to be perfectly honest. I'm not trying to brag. It was a lot of work. I mean, I had to eat so much food, guys.
Yes.
But we were at a food show.
I tested it too.
You guys were, suffering from that too. How many times did I force feed you mac and cheese?
It was a lot.
Dozens.
So anyway, we tried a ricotta bite at a food show, and we decided this is fantastic. We're going to put it on our menu. So when we redid the menu, we put it on the menu. It had been a few months, so we finally got it put on the menu. Sent our menu off to be printed. And I'm like, great, now I need to order all these ingredients for when the menu comes in, we can roll it out. Went to go order them, not available. Call my rep. Hey, so what's up with these ricotta bites? Temporarily out of service. He's like, oh no, the supplier discontinued them. Yeah. So a week before our menu came out, I found out that the ricotta bites were discontinued. So I had to then... I spent the next 2 months coming up with a recipe for the ricotta bites. Bite Club on the menu is what they're called. They just rolled out. They've only been out for a week now because I got the recipe down finally, but then I was trying to bread them with panko. But panko, they're still breaded with panko, but it's like the last layer.
Yeah.
Because panko, when you try to double batter it, it just falls off in the milk wash. So I ended up having to bread it with some flour, do a couple layers of that. So it was a lot of trial and error, but they are absolutely. What do you think of them?
I like them.
Is this the first time you've tried them?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're really tasty. I really like them. You mind if I have one?
That's fine.
Food for your customers.
Well, sister.
Yeah.
It's easy inside.
Sister doesn't count.
It doesn't.
Pretty much this group doesn't count.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway, so yeah, guys, welcome to Dirty Talk. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna finish chewing before I talk more.
Might be a good idea.
Might be a good one.
So yeah, guys. The first campaign we three played together was Lost Minds of Fans.
Yep.
I talked about this a little bit with Sarah last week.
Yeah.
I played a dwarf cleric. That was my very first D&D character. Was a dwarf cleric. I cannot, for the life of me, remember his name, but he was a cleric. So he was a dwarf. So of course he had that low, gravelly voice that I used a lot. Actually, I overused that voice.
I can't remember the name of my character too, but it was I played the Thief Rogue.
Yeah, because all these were the pre-made.
Yeah, they were the
Yeah.
pre-made that came with the starter set.
Did you play a pre-made or did you make your
I'm
own?
pretty sure I did a pre-made.
Okay, and what were you?
I honestly
I think
do
you
not
were playing
remember.
sorcerer.
Possibly.
I think you were playing a
It's
sorcerer.
probably some kind of caster, which would make sense.
Yeah, I know that Lost Minds comes with a bunch of pre-mades because
Yeah.
it's like the introduction adventure to D&D.
I was the first one to die. First one
Which
because,
time?
In
I mean,
Lost
at least you turned into a
Minds,
monster, not a real player.
Wait, what
Yes.
was it that you died to?
I died to the young green dragon.
We all died to the young green dragon. Have you heard this story, Jared?
No, I don't think
Oh
you shared
my!
this story.
So I shared this last week. Actually, I'm going to go over it again because it's absolutely fantastic, right? So the three of us, the four of us are playing. Bunch of newbies to D&D, right?
Yep.
So bad.
Sarah had just joined. I swear, it only been a session or two. That this is her first or second session that she's played with us. She, of course, knows so much about D&D, and
She was the only one that ran out of the room.
So have you played Lost Minds of Phandelver?
I've seen it, but I haven't personally.
So you know about the green dragon
Oh,
that's
yeah.
in the room? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we meet the cultists. The cultists are like, "Hey, we're gonna go provide an offering to this green dragon," and we're like, "Yeah, let's go. This sounds like a great idea." Meanwhile, Sarah's over there like anime,
Sweat drops.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she says that her and Ruth make eye contact, and Ruth is just like, and she's just like, Like, yeah, let's go. So we go in, of course, and the cultists, their thing, and they're like, we have brought these sacrifices, and we're all like, oh. And then all of us get absolutely demolished by this green dragon. That was, it was Sarah's first or second session with us.
Yeah.
It was, oh, man. She survived. She ran out of the room.
She ran out. She got the.
I think I survived too,
Yeah.
but like I was down.
Yeah. Sarah ran and got the druid that was watching the town, and he brought us back.
Yeah, that's how we were able to retcon that one.
Yeah. And then
That was the first time we met a Nothic, which
Yes.
is actually one of my favorite monsters. I don't know if you know this. It's one of my favorite monsters in D&D.
Yeah.
we actually befriended the Nothic in the basement of the ruined mansion.
Yeah. Well, we were taking out there was some kind of like bandit
Yeah.
camp or something like that underneath.
Yeah.
And I forget-
Surprisingly, we talked to it and befriended it rather than.
And it was just like,
Kill.
I'm hungry. And so, like, there was barrels of food, and I just rolled a barrel of food over to it, and it sat there and ate all the food while we just walked right past it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I love Noth. Like, they're one of my favorite characters. Wizards who have kind of overstepped their bounds in their
Yes.
wizardry and turned into these creatures. I actually have a really cool concept for a character. Have I told you guys?
Yeah,
you
you've definitely told me that you want to build a wizard like
And I actually
He has. He plays it on the one shot on Wednesdays here.
Absolutely. His name is Christopher, and he slowly turned into a Nothic because he tried casting some ancient ritual that he should not have been touching, and
It's like I know it wasn't a great time for everyone else in that first campaign. I had a lot of fun when the entire party went down to the Flaming Skull.
was that in
That was
Lost
in the
Mines?
That was in the Lost Mines. As the rogue, I got away and found another way into the room through a trench and slowly pulled you guys down.
Oh, that's right. I
to,
do remember that we all went down to that flaming skull, didn't
Yeah,
we?
I was the only one that got away. I found a way to get to your bodies and pull you into a trench so you were hidden, and I pulled all of your healing potions from your own bodies to feed them to you.
I completely forgot about. So you may have been the first one to go down, but like we were going down.
Yes, it's like to get through the Lost Mines itself, I was the only one that didn't go down in the mines themselves.
So we finished that one, and then Ruth
that was fun.
homebrewed campaign.
Yeah.
And is that when you joined?
That's when I
That's
joined.
when
That
you-
was when
you
Hellboy
joined.
came in.
Hellboy. That's right.
Yes, the the fire gymnastics.
That's
Yep.
right. Yeah, we had started. We were quite.
And I built the Retribution Paladin with 0 charisma.
Yep, I remember that.
That was a bad.
Well, look, we were new. Okay, I was playing a
we don't need
lycanthrope.
Yeah,
Yes.
I remember that.
I was playing a lycanthrope.
Snarl Bark Bark. Snarl Bark Bark was your
Snarl
name.
Bark Bark. Yeah, that was good times. So yeah, we started the campaign. I think did Alicia join before?
Alicia was there before I was.
Yeah, Alicia joined towards the end of Lost Mines.
That's right. Yeah.
And then we all built our characters together to start
Okay.
Ruth's campaign.
Right. And Ruth's campaign was based off. It wasn't Ravnica because Ravnica I don't think was out yet.
No, it wasn't.
But it was a world that was based on the World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Not World of Warcraft. Magic the Gathering.
It was
Lore.
it was a little bit of magic, a little bit of Earthsea,
Okay.
Mythica,
Yeah. I don't know too much about those worlds myself. To be
but
perfectly
that's what it
honest.
seemed to me as a player, that it was a little bit of a cross between those.
But what was the archangel's name that was missing?
The Archangel. I don't remember the name, but it was like we were searching.
All I can think of is Athena, but that's because I've been listening to Epic nonstop for the last 3 months. That's not right though. Avicii.
Avicii, yes.
Avicii.
He was the head of the church, went missing. We were hired to try to find him and complete quests through the
Went to different towns. There was like undead in one town because
Yeah.
like two undead siblings were like fighting back
Yeah.
and forth.
And then we got turned into ghouls for a while.
Yeah.
Me and you. That was
yeah,
me.
you-
That was
Yeah,
you.
that was
Yeah.
you too.
That was
Yeah.
before he.
I wasn't there yet.
Oh.
I got attacked by cats more times than not.
Oh.
At one point,
Your
Ruth-
werewolf character was absolutely terrified
Oh, yeah.
of displacer beasts.
Well, it was cats.
The cats,
At one
period,
point,
but-
at one point, Ruth, at one dungeon, it was like the very first dungeon we did
I
actually,
think so, yeah.
where I forget what the dungeon was, but it was at one point you had to like.
Wasn't
Give-
there like one of the churches that we had to go
No, there
to?
wasn't.
No.
There was a monument. There was a what's the not a monument?
It was an obelisk.
Obelisk.
And there was mention of the obelisk, but we had to get into the
was
dungeon
like-
that was controlled by the obelisk.
Not aboleth. Aboleth is a creature.
Yeah.
What is the monument called? Like it's a building.
Obelisk.
Obelisk. Yeah. There was no.
No, it said.
There was a
obelisk.
wizard or a mad angel in
Yeah.
this cave. It was like his lair or something like that.
yeah.
That's right.
And one of the requirements to get through was to tell it your greatest fear. And I'm a dog. I'm a werewolf, and I was just like memes and wrote down cats. And then Ruth just kept throwing cats at me.
Yes.
And I was like, I said I was afraid of cats. I have to roleplay that I'm afraid of cats. So one time I ended up in a room with a displacer beast and its cubs by myself. I died that time.
Yeah. And Danny's character, we all tried to keep control of that crazy little curl,
I was
Winnie,
like,
running
what,
all
8
over the
years old?
place.
When he was inexperienced.
Like, weren't you like a half
Damn-
I was a
vampire?
damn for
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Before
And
I
she was
this
running-
was all homebrew
Homebrew,
stuff. Yeah, because
she saw something she was interested in. She was gone. We had to try
I
to
mean,
keep
we
up.
went to like what a maze, and like everybody else was
Oh,
deciding whether or not we were gonna go
yes,
into the maze.
yes.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go into
if there was a door, and we were like, okay, we're gonna look for traps on the door before we could roll. She was like, I opened the door.
She runs through the door.
Oh man.
That is
So Snarl was constantly like, all right, I'm gonna roll a dexterity check to see if I can grab her before she goes running through the door.
And then I think like there was one time where I got mad at you and so kind of town and I cast fireball on you.
Probably, yeah, that checks out. That was. Were you here for this one? When I'm a werewolf in a world that like werewolves don't really exist. So like the towns don't really like me.
yeah.
And we're in this small town, and it's like on the border of like where my woods used to be. And at this point I had gotten in the habit of being arrested for like no reason whatsoever. Like I just existing, I was getting arrested. So they told me to stay in the room, but I was playing this like chaotic neutral edgelord werewolf.
Yep.
And I was like, no, I'm on the edge of my prior territory. I need to go look and be broody for a few seconds. And went up on the wall and was just like looking over the wall of the town into my prior forests. And sure enough, got arrested. And that's when you cast fireball on me. You're like, this
think-
is your punishment.
Well, no,
Fireball.
I think I came and got you, and I was like, yeah, he's mine. Like,
Yeah, that's my dog.
Yeah.
A little girl's got to have a
And
dog.
Towards the end of the campaign, Winnie, on the orders of her
my patron.
patron,
Oh, God.
killed me and turned me into human jerky so she
Yep.
could snack on it.
Yep.
Like, really? What the heck?
The campaign 1 for,
We
for
were
some of
crazy.
us. When did you hop in?
So I joined a little bit late. It was before the human jerky, but I wasn't there that week.
He joined in about 3 months in.
Yeah.
and I died 3 times yet.
Yes.
Probably.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me.
There,
Our other friend,
there
our
wasn't.
other acquaintance at the time, Andrew, was on his like 4th character.
Yep.
We don't talk about them.
You
No.
don't remember.
Hey. He did something to where in game, the paladin beat him to death and walked away and let the party decide if they were going to save him.
Anyway, we.
We're gonna move on from that
no,
guy.
what did I bring? I brought it up for a very specific reason.
He was that
I don't
player
remember
that
what it
no
was.
one wants
No, I don't-
anymore.
Well, maybe like this for the second campaign.
I apologize. I brought that one up for no reason.
Yeah, I was like,
whatsoever.
I wasn't gonna
There was a
mention him at
specific
all,
reason.
but-
No, there was a specific reason I brought it up, and now for the life of me, I cannot. I wasn't even trying
I mean,
to
if
get
you don't
into
want to talk
everything.
about chairs and beating people with chairs,
No, yeah, okay. Anyway, so yeah, we finished that. Well, we didn't even finish. Like, Ruth was getting a little tired of
She was
DMing.
getting burned out.
Yeah.
You guys, I wasn't there for it, but you guys did finish that with later on with a one shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Because we felt my patron.
Then
Then you ran.
no, Sarah did.
No, Sarah.
Oh, Sarah did,
ran
that's
her
right.
campaign.
Sarah did her
Oh, I
campaign.
remember
that.
that
was
was-
based off.
Oh,
That was based off of
Exandria.
Exandria and like
Yeah.
the southern hemisphere where the players haven't even gotten yet. So she built
Yeah,
her
this
own
was-
little continent.
For continuity's sake, this was just after campaign 1 of Critical Role had wrapped up, and so we were in that world, but none of season 2 or season 3 had happened yet.
And I had no idea about any of that. Like I was still
Yeah.
like I just started watching campaign 1 about this time. 'Cause
Yeah, I think Sarah and I were the only ones who had finished campaign 1.
I was watching Matt Colville's running the game series actually, which was actually really good. Anyway, so I had no idea about any like what the world was, but that's where it took place. And I played a Kenku.
yes.
This was the campaign
Yes,
I played
you
a
did.
Kenku. Everybody loved this Kenku.
Meow. His name was Meow.
His name was Meow.
He's a good character.
Shadowcaster. It was a Shadowcaster, which was another
It was
homebrew.
another homebrew, yeah.
It was another homebrew class.
I played a Ranger Horizon Walker. That
Yeah.
was fun.
You were.
I was a Medusa
Yeah.
kind of necromancer, but it was another homebrew.
There's another homebrew necromancer class, and you proved.
I was a Drow Paladin who
Yep.
I actually did a little bit with the CR cast where Lolth wanted. I don't think we ever got to this in game, but my character was a rogue who tried to steal from Percy the secrets of gunpowder and whatnot, and then got shot and got electrocuted and had nerve damage.
Oh, is that really what that's your whole backstory?
That's the backstory.
Oh, I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah, we
actually.
never got there, but he got nerve damage, so he was a rogue, and he turned into a redemption paladin because I think it was Saren Ray, like after Lolth abandoned him and consigned him to be turned into a Drider.
Yeah.
Saren Ray saved him and made him a redemption paladin to go to the southern continent and do good. And so
And
I didn't fight. I was like a spellcasty paladin with feats and whatnot to give me extra spell slots and whatnot.
Yeah.
We never really got far enough to really get to that plot point, but that was the story there.
however, that one session where we were having to, I forget the magic item, but we were playing shifting with it, and we failed the roll, and we wound up in Whitestone.
Oh,
You
freaked.
went absolutely
Nope,
nuts.
we're getting out of here. Oh no, I don't
was
want.
hilarious.
I don't want to get shot with a gun and have like 20 d6 lightning damage done to me again. No, my dexterity went down like 4 points from that.
I will be real honest. Since I was playing the Kenku, like I was paying attention to what was happening, but sometimes I just completely checked out because I was just this Kenku who was like just going through the world,
You're
following
pretty much
whoever,
like following us.
was the most powerful. Like I don't know if I told you guys, I had in my notebook tallies of who I thought, like whenever somebody showed like a display of power, who like I would tally it up, and the person who had the most tallies at that moment, I would like basically listen to them.
Yeah.
I
What's
ended
in the
up,
box?
yeah.
What's in the
We
box?
talked about that last week. No, that was
Yes.
that and what was my that one time I talked about this last week actually. The one time that we were in combat and you were like, "Does anybody need heals?" And I was like, "I need heals."
Yes.
And you went to go heal me, and I hadn't taken any damage. And then I was like, and then he starts purring.
And Sarah was so mad at me because she built an entire section for my backstory,
Oh,
and
yeah. You
I
weren't here
had
that
left
weekend.
to help a friend one week, and the next week I was sick, so I completely missed it.
His backstory was the
Oh.
first to come up in the campaign, and he was gone for every session that it was relevant.
And Sarah was mad at me the entire campaign.
So then, not only that, but then Ruth had to step out for a little while,
Yeah.
and so it's just kind of like I was playing a Kenku, so I wasn't role playing at all, except for listening to what everybody else was
Yes.
saying.
And repeating anything you caught interesting.
I don't know if I talked about this last
we
week.
taught your character to cuss, and we
Of course.
Yeah.
What else do you do with Kenkus?
And then Ruth Ruth, Sarah gave Ruth a dragon egg, which she got a concordant dragon, which, my God, when that thing uses its breath on characters, it is vicious.
Were those in Fizzbands?
No, I know they were old school. I don't know if they were in Fizzbands.
I mean, this was before Fizzbands even came out, but
Concordants are purple dragons that their breath deals damage based on your alignment. The closer you are to pure neutral, the less damage you take.
That's right.
And
So none of us could be in the stream at all.
nope.
I played. So I was with Kenku, and we did something for. It was Asmodeus's daughter, right?
Yes.
Was our main contact.
Yeah. She was the ruler of the city.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but yeah, it was Asmodeus's daughter, and she worked very hard to conceal that fact.
And conceal herself in the city. Like,
Yes.
she made it very difficult for anybody to
She
get
basically
to her.
sealed herself in the city and turned the city into a
Labyrinth. Until this little Kenku got Cape of the Bat and could fly all of a sudden.
And then
Or this Medusa that.
Well, no, because what happened was I took off and I flew around the city. The thing is, Kenkus have photographic memories.
Yep.
So then I sat down like 3 sessions later. It was just like I just start doodling the city, not thinking anything of it. I'm just like I saw something cool, doodle doodle doodle, and the
Yes.
chieftain of the city or somebody who was very closely aligned with his
city's
with-
like,
was like,
let me have that.
I'm taking that now.
Yep. Yep.
I wrote down. I was able to copy down glyph of a teleportation sigil
Yep.
that we never even end up being able to use because we didn't reach that level yet.
Yep. And then the annoying to get into her fortress, there was a drawbridge controlled by an annoying little imp that we had to give smut books to get him to open the gate for us.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was fun. Then Danny got down into the catacombs underneath to get her bones for her raised dead spells.
Yep.
My little necromancer army.
We fought a. What was the big thing we fought towards the end?
it was a
of?
Kraken.
It
The
was a
Kraken was
Kraken?
attacking the port.
It was
But she had,
it
like,
was a homebrew Kraken.
Yeah.
Where like you had to take out different.
Somewhere in our Discord stream, there's the picture of it.
Yeah,
I'm
somewhere
not
in
going
our
back
Discord.
right
It
now.
is. It's in there. It's a way.
But it was like in part like we weren't just killing the Kraken. We had to like kill its like legs and
Yeah.
its body.
Yeah, it's
and-
like it attacked and pretty much almost destroyed the city. The leader of the city turned back time to give us an hour to prepare. It was like we were just calling every one of our people. Like we had sending stones.
Everyone we could reach out to.
To anyone we help. Yep. We called in internet, like the guards of the other rulers. Like, and it's like we were calling like, we need help. This is what's coming.
It was throwing
And-
ships at us.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was not a fun time.
It was not super happy times. Then
we went into your camp.
we went into my campaign,
Yep.
the one that I homebrewed, which is so actually I don't. You guys know that like I did the one shot, the level 21 shot
Yeah.
with the Shadow Dragon.
Oh yeah.
And then this one took place 1,000 years after that.
Yeah. And
My
then,
character
and
from
then
that
your
one
house,
shot is still around, and he's
Yes.
very unhappy about it.
I'm trying to. So I'm actually the house game that we're doing here.
It's 500
It's
years.
also 500 years after the events of the
our
campaign.
campaign.
Yeah. And I'm trying to decide if I'm going to throw him in somewhere because he's immortal, right?
I mean, the thing is, he is a death cleric. I made a genasi of, I don't remember what nature. I think it was water again. I don't remember. But a water genasi death cleric, and he wants to kill things, and he wants to die. Like, he wants everything to embrace death.
Oh.
But he isn't, like, biologically, by age, he's an old man, but he doesn't die.
Yes.
That's
And
right.
he's very grumpy about that fact. He's like, I have done so much. I have brought so much death. Let me embrace her. And nope,
And-
you're still alive and you're still kicking.
Rich, I think we're offline on Twitch. Oh, okay. All right, but we're still good on YouTube? Okay, cool.
We'll take it.
Yep.
Awesome. And then, I'm trying to decide if I'm throwing him anywhere in this. I haven't decided yet. I think it would still be funny to have.
It would be
this.
very funny if he was still around.
I'm having fun because in the first campaign we played, I was a Warforged arcane hunter.
Mm-hmm.
In the house campaign, I'm using the same Warforged body 500 years later as a hunter or ranger hunter that is haunted by my previous character and your previous character. I
Yeah.
have not interacted with him yet, but
Orville's.
it's going to be interesting.
Oh, Orville.
However,
Orville,
the lore
Orville.
drop that allowed in the campaign was amazing.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
I failed the
So-
Constitution save, and my previous character possessed my body and went off. Like, he went on a
Fucking
tirade.
Dragonstones again?
Yes.
Again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's faces at the table was like, what the hell just happened? It's like, my eyes flashed a different color, the voice changes, and you hear this. It was amazing just to watch their faces.
No, we're having a good time with that one. But yeah, so my campaign, I built a world where it was like what would be considered the Divine Gate
Yep.
in most.
Yes.
Isn't the Divine Gate present in Faerun as well, or some variation thereof, where the gods can't directly interfere with the material plane?
It's happened in the past.
It's happened. I don't know if it's in current lore, if
Yeah.
it's official. That
Yeah.
There's a gate up, but
But so the gods are basically walking the material plane, and they're in this weird like stalemate type situation where nobody wants to start a fight because they know what that would mean for the world.
that's a big risk.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the like Tiamat and Asmodeus
Yeah.
could care less.
Bahamut.
Muhammad.
The Bahamut.
Bahamut
Well, no,
was fun.
no. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Bahamut, Tiamat, and Asmodeus could care less. The war could happen.
Yeah.
And they don't care about the material plane.
Yeah.
But they're like, instead of just like creating this all-out war, they're just trying to gain as much power as they can
Yeah.
before this
They're
war
trying.
gets
They're
happening.
jockeying for position.
Yeah. Whereas
Yes.
Bahamut and
Other good gods.
other good gods are actively like basically this huge. Bahamut was actually all the other gods had basically retreated to their. We
Yes.
didn't really go over this. All the other gods had retreated to their planes to be like, we're done. Let the material plane exist. We'll lend our power to our followers, but we're not going to actively do anything. Bahamut was trying to like be the one to be like,
Yeah.
guys, we actually need to stop them before this becomes like stop the
Yes.
bad gods before this becomes a problem. So was in the world actively like. You guys have met him a couple of times.
Yeah.
One of my favorite interactions, period, was when his character tried to attack a canary that was flying around the guy we were talking to.
Yep. Yep.
So they had just fled. They had just met Tiamat for the first time. Found out that she was Tiamat before going to actually meet her.
Fled the city she was.
Fled the city that she was like the matriarch of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was no fun.
One group had fled prior because one of them, Ruth's character, was actively being hunted by Tiamat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one group had fled earlier, while the other one decided that they were going to go have the meeting with Tiamat just to like give
Yeah.
them time to escape. Of course, Tiamat saw right through it.
I mean, yeah.
So she sent a group of people to follow after you guys, after the other group. I think you went with the first group, right?
I went with Bruce's character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you went with the first group. That's right. And the second
I was
group,
sent with them as well.
you were it was you, Sarah,
Alicia,
and Alicia,
yeah.
then, right?
Probably, I don't remember honestly.
Were the second group that fled the city after having a meeting with Tiamat, and they were being pursued. They were being followed.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they see a canary just flying through the trees, and he's like, "Nope." Of course, the canary was one of Bahamut's council, keeping an eye on them.
Yeah.
So he
I
shoots
didn't
his
know that.
so he shoots his canary, and
And
an
the arrow-
ancient gold dragon just pops out because he kills the canary, obviously.
Yeah.
But the polymorph drops, and the ancient gold dragon pops out.
And just
is
looks
like-
at him.
and just looks up, and I forget what he says. Something along the lines of you'll meet him soon, or something like that. Because
Great.
then that night,
Just great.
you guys went to the garrison
Yes.
because there was garrisons along the road. And then because then he took off
Yeah.
and chased the
followers.
The followers all like basically like
They saw a dragon appear, like, oh shit.
yeah, and ran away. And then that night was the first time you met Bahamut, and basically you were because you were a Warforged, so of course
Yeah,
I'm keeping
I went-
guard
I went-
every. He also took a bow of warning.
Yes, a bow of warning with a Warforged.
I was nice. I decided, hey guys, you guys like level 1 characters. You're so much more than even like a commoner. Everybody
have
take
one
a
uncommon-
common or uncommon item. Takes bow of warning.
Yes, I wanted a magical bow, and I took the bow of warning, and
Which is fine.
Hey.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about an encounter I had planned for you, and which I haven't told you guys yet.
oh no.
And it's absolutely fantastic. I'm going to tell you about that in a little bit. But so he's keeping watch in the middle of it because the road was pockmarked by garrisons, like basically a day's travel between each garrison. So you guys were taking a long rest there. You were keeping guard. There were some guards at this garrison.
Yeah.
They were evil guards. They were going to attack them in the night, except at some point in the night, they just fall asleep. Like, they were in the middle of a conversation and just fall over. And here comes this nondescript, non-threatening man with a canary on his shoulder walking into the garrison.
Yeah.
Like, we need to have a talk.
Yeah.
Oh man.
What else?
Yeah, I'll be honest. That's probably the campaign where I am the least proud of my play.
You
So,
were...
I was Orville, a centaur, and I was a bodyguard for Ruth.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have really in the past talked about Ruth's character.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Ruth was the princess, except she wasn't the princess.
Yeah.
I screwed up, and the princess died, and so Ruth was playing the princess's handmaiden slash
Best
burgeoning best friend
Yeah.
slash burgeoning like rogue right hand
Yeah.
type character. And so my character is just a riddled mess of depression, just existing basically, going through the motions of protecting Ruth's character, but we didn't really get along super well.
Not to mention, this was
For a
prime-
while, my character was mute and did not get on well with Ruth either.
And this was also prime pandemic, so you were actually in Tennessee
Yeah.
at the time trying
So-
to do this whole campaign.
Yeah, we were.
Through Discord.
Discord.
It was not a great time.
No. So you actually, I think you ended up missing a lot of stuff
Yeah,
just because.
because I don't remember a lot of your campaign. That's one of
the
the
connections were bad, and because we were playing in your basement,
yeah.
and the connections weren't great, so it's like
We didn't have
he
a mic
couldn't
set
hear
up
us.
like we do here.
We couldn't hear him a lot.
Yeah.
So it was
It was
bad.
not, we didn't have a good setup at all.
Yeah.
But we. So the encounter I had planned when you guys finally made it to the capital city, which I think was at some point your goal was to go to the capital city and
Yeah.
try to talk to the leaders there and.
Yeah.
So tieflings, because Sarah was playing tiefling, and
Yeah.
you were
Yeah.
playing a warforged that used to be a tiefling.
Yes.
Spoiler alert.
Sarah made the deal when she found my dead body, and my soul was transferred into the first Warforged.
A la
ever.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yes.
So you guys were going to be staying in whatever various rooms. You were going to get a suite, and there would be like bedrooms off. And I know you were going to stay in the main room keeping watch. That's just what you
Yeah.
do, right? And I was going to make you make a roll while you were keeping watch. And depending on how you rolled, you would either not notice anything, or you would notice that like the ambient noise, like the carts going by on the street, the people shouting an argument across
Silence.
the road, the fly that was buzzing around the room, suddenly gone, no noise, and like while you're like getting up trying to figure out like you're gonna what's going on, you get an alert from your bow of warning because Sarah's character was being kidnapped by Tiamat's cultists.
That would have been a fight and a half. No one takes my sister.
She was gonna be gone, dude. Like they had a
That would have been a rampage.
well, because I don't like you guys don't know this, but Tiamat
Yeah.
was actually in the capital city as well. She wasn't just in
Yeah,
Platinum.
that doesn't surprise me in the
No,
least.
she was on the council in in the capital city.
Gotcha.
She was. You guys knew that she was in the
Platinum
Gnomish
Cliff.
City
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
south,
And we knew that she was in Platinum Cliffs.
and Platinum. Yeah, no, she was everywhere.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was.
She was probably in 5 places, one for each head.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So yeah, I was really looking forward to that encounter. You guys were headed to.
We were going to hell.
You were going to hell. You were going to meet Asmodeus.
Yep.
Actually,
Look,
I think we pretty much ended the campaign when we
entered the portal,
to
Yeah, we
hell.
were
Yeah.
going into the portal. Yeah.
Which is where you guys are headed right now in the new campaign.
Yes, the part of the party that I'm with is about to find the Draugr city again.
Draugr City.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like I made the history set. So when I was possessed, I now recall all the memories of my previous character. So I know the secret way into the city if it's still there.
Yep. And this was a little bit after COVID had just lifted. I was back in St. Louis, and I
Yes.
was like, finally, I'm back with the group. And then, hey guys, I'm feeling a little bit burned out.
I need to
No,
take
this
a
is
break.
when we were getting ready to start the bar. Like,
Was it?
well, no,
No. That
This
was-
was when Mom got sick. This
Yeah.
is when my mom got sick. And I
you
thought
were-
I was going to have to try to take care of her.
Yeah.
That all happened. And then it was shortly after that we started working on the bar full
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, well, because
we got
because
through.
I ran 2 campaigns and you bowed out of the second one.
Right. Yeah.
And so after we
Turned around.
went in the portal to hell and just left off on that cliffhanger, I decided I volunteered my services as DM.
It's like we played through Strahd,
Yep, I ran Strahd,
and then we played
Tomb of Annihilation.
Tomb of Annihilation.
Strahd.
How we made it through the Tomb of Annihilation, I don't.
You guys
know.
will have to tell me about that, but we can talk about Strahd for a little bit first.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's go into Strahd because
Oh.
all of us were there, and it's the only time that I've been with this group that we
Actually
all
finished the
the campaign.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, every member of the party were family from the same orphanage.
Yep, that was the inciting incident. Everyone was an orphan at the same orphanage. I'll let you all introduce. What were you guys playing, and I'll introduce the people who weren't here.
I was Braxton, a green dragonborn. I was trying to play this was the campaign. I was trying to play a lawful evil. I was trying to do a lot of
Yeah.
socioeconomic subterfuge. Turns out Barovia's not a great spot for that.
It's not.
And he, to his benefit, he did try to keep.
I
throwing me
was
stuff.
really trying
But-
so hard
Yeah.
to get him to side with Strahd and get some of his family in a bad
Braxton
position.
was too proud to side with Strahd.
Yeah, and so okay, maybe with some of the towns and doing stuff with them, and then roll the dice, and then look, it's a natural 1
Every time.
consistently. I have never played a game with someone who rolled so bad, so consistently on what his character was supposed to be good at. He was
Yes.
fine at other things, but being charismatic, talking, trying to wheel and deal, no, couldn't do it.
I'm pretty sure there was a couple times where I was like, before I even try to say what I'm going to say, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. We'll move on.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. So you.
I was Damphir Twilight Cleric.
This bitch, this fucking bitch, Twilight Cleric is broken. You're right. I'm sorry. Gosh, that was so frustrating to deal with as a DM.
In Strahd.
In Strahd.
In Strahd specifically.
I had a lot of fun.
I mean,
I
so did
started out as a phantom rogue with I was going to go rogue ranger, but because of storylines later on, I gave up my ranger levels to take
Paladin levels.
redemption paladin levels for storyline.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dave.
Screw
Okay,
you.
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. So we also had Amaris. This was the start of Alicia's
the Owlkin
war cleric. She killed Strahd, by the way.
How many times?
Yeah. We
The
killed
first
him
time,
twice.
and I had to Deus Ex Machina bring him back. We'll get into that. We had Ruth, who was playing a little girl, the youngest person
She
in
was
the party.
a flame druid.
Yeah, Phoenix Druid.
Phoenix druid.
And then we had Solicitus played by Sarah, who was also a warlock.
I was a Fey Warlock.
Yeah.
She was also a Fey.
She was
She was a genie.
She was a genie warlock. Yeah.
Yeah,
Air Genie Warlock.
yeah, air genie.
How much time did we spend in a little lantern of hers?
Yep, she had a lantern, and
Hey,
It saved our
'cause
tail. It saved our tail a number of times.
Because I also played a Pact of the I took Pact of the Chain, and so I had a pseudo dragon, and as long as me and the pseudo dragon were on the same plane of existence, I can communicate with her no matter where she's at.
yep.
The
The lantern doesn't count as the same plane.
right, but what I can do is be like, hey, Sapphire, we're going to all go in this lantern. Can you take this to Strahd's castle and just drop it right in the middle? Okay, thanks.
Oh, that wasn't the only thing she delivered to Strahd.
Well, I
She
mean,
delivered a
also
gift
you were
basket.
doing exploring the castle.
They stole
and a whole
Strahd's
bunch
treasury, by the way.
Yes.
And you
So-
stole a bunch of
Visit to the
items.
castle.
So let's take a step back. If you know anything about Strahd,
Spoilers for Strahd coming up.
spoilers for Strahd. We're gonna there's gonna be a lot of those. But there's a book you can find in Strahd that in Raw, it just kind of gives you a little bit of the Strahd's history. I saw online and I really liked that you could get hints about things that are upcoming, and or like hints about locations on the map. And so I was like, that's really good. And so going to Strahd's castle, I look at it and I'm like, man, this is such a cool place, but you really only are exploring it at the end of the campaign. There's so much stuff in here. And so I'm like, one of the things is the Instant Fortress. I don't remember the Duometries or however you pronounce it. And so it has a ton of gold and some magic items, and it's where his treasury is.
Yeah.
And it has a command word, Stellar. And so they had Van Richten interpreting, trying to interpret the book, and it was just, so they just got the word Stellar. And so he invited them to Ravenloft, and it was supposed to be kind of a, hey, this is you able to do a little bit of recon, learn a little bit about the place, just maybe a little bit on some floors, and
So Braxton was
Yep.
invited to go speak with Strahd.
Yep, 'cause I
But
was,
before-
again,
but before
wheeling and
he
dealing.
went, as the rogue, I was going to explore the castle. Sarah or Sully cast Fly on me, and then Braxton cast Invisibility on me.
yep,
So, and as a rogue, I was bonus action dashing,
Yep.
and action dashing through the castle, searching for things. I find Strahd's private chambers. I start looking around. I mess with the fireplace, and I find the hidden passage behind it.
yep.
I start looking around.
He goes through all of the freaking traps, by the way.
I find a secret passage from the secret passage, and then I find the adamantine tower,
the Instant Fortress.
and I was like, wait, what's Stellar do? And
Yep.
it opened the fortress, and I found the treasury.
They stole
I had
everything.
a portable hole, so I put it on the floor. I scooped everything into the portable hole.
Yep.
Stepped out, closed the door,
Shrunk the fortress.
and stuck it in my pocket.
Yeah, so
And then I almost reset every trap perfectly when I left. I messed up a little bit.
I knew this was an option. I gave Stellar, I'm going to make it possible for them to do this. So my bad, I guess. But I didn't actually expect it to work. The amount of things that had to go well for that to happen was
The amount
insane.
of gold and platinum we got out of that.
For every natural one that I roll, Dave's over here rolling a natural 20. Dave is what's his name?
I am the reason.
Taliesin. Dave is Taliesin. I am Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
I am the reason we stopped rolling for stats and started doing point buy.
Yeah. I was like, I don't want the huge discrepancies between player characters. I don't think that's fair. And so they didn't. So Barovia, they had his entire treasury, but there's not really that much to spend money on in Barovia.
Nope.
But
But
what
the magical items really helped.
they did. But the most important thing
was because you had all of Strahd's money, he couldn't afford to send as much at you.
Yes.
I was like constantly, like, you guys weren't being thrown quite as much. That could have been, like, there were a bunch of werewolves on the western side. They didn't mess with you guys anywhere near as much as they could have because Strahd wasn't paying them.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, seriously.
yes.
The werewolves were able to leave Barovia, but they weren't able to take money out to other people to bring them in to fight you guys because Strahd didn't have any money.
Yep. The first time we actually fought Strahd, we killed him.
Yeah. So
So Brax, what was it? Van Richten's adopted daughter
Yep.
stole the amulet that gives off daylight.
Yep.
We gave it to the cleric.
Not me.
No,
That would be
to-
Alicia.
no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
That one.
Yeah, Alicia had the helm.
Yeah.
The helm of
Helm of
brightness-
Brilliance.
Brilliance.
Yep. That they stole from the treasury.
That we stole from the treasury.
Yep.
And so that gave off daylight.
So
And then didn't Alicia also have?
She
had
found
a-
a spear.
She had a blood spear. So this was on the western end of Barovia, so about as far away as you can be from Strahd's castle. So he was not near home. I think Alicia cast, I think it's Spirit Shroud. It's like a 3rd level spell or a
Yeah,
2nd level
it's
spell
third level.
that enhances your weapon. Because War
Yeah.
Cleric, she did a lot of melee.
Yeah.
And I don't remember all of what it does, but it messes with your movement speed and ruins it.
Oh.
And so Strahd has a lot of ways to move up to his movement speed, but when your movement speed is 0,
Well, first, Strahd was riding his nightmare.
yep,
And Sarah cast ground on it.
yeah,
And so it dropped it to the ground and its movement speed was 0. We killed the nightmare.
oh, he was not happy.
And
Oh,
didn't we
he was
also
not
send
happy.
him jerky of that?
Yes, you did. You
We-
guys made more jerky.
We made a gift basket. We took
At least
the
it
hooves
wasn't
and
paladin jerky this time, it was a
It's
nightmare
like we
jerky.
made glue. We made glue and soap from the hooves. We made jerky. We made him a leather wallet,
Yep.
and we sent him a gift basket timed to be delivered
By the
when
way-
we were fighting.
By the
Baba
way,
Yaga.
Yep.
The lawful evil warlock had nothing to do with this.
This is
This
true.
is the chaotic neutral and the evil war cleric and the
Oh yeah, because Alicia was also
Alicia-
playing,
yeah.
but she was just like evil for the lulz, not.
Yeah.
for
She was
the-
evil, like, I want to fight and kill things.
yes.
Yeah, I don't want to feel remorse. For when I kill
I was the
things.
chaotic neutral and I didn't care.
So what Dave was talking about earlier, when we first started talking about this campaign and we came up with that whole backstory, we needed a reason why
Yeah.
we were going to be leaving the orphanage, and the collective reason we decided was that the orphanage burned down.
Yeah.
So I text Dave later,
Yeah.
and I'm like, Dave, because I knew, like, edgelord Dave over here. I'm like, Dave, you and I burned down the orphanage. They don't know about it. We burned down the orphanage. And Dave's like, I'm on board. As soon as he says I'm on board, Jared,
Yeah.
Dave and I burned down the orphanage. The reason we burned down the orphanage, and I told Dave this, the reason we burned down the orphanage is because I overheard a plot to sell us to some slave traders or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, so we're gonna burn down the orphanage, kill the matron
Yeah.
of the orphanage.
Well, I didn't say kill the matron. I just said burn down the orphanage and run. Is all I said.
Yeah.
And I tell that to Dave, and I
didn't-
Jared. So here's.
So I was like, I didn't know he was lying about the plot.
Well, because
We're gonna get there.
I texted Jared, and I was like, Jared, I just texted Dave. He's on board with this backstory, and Jared's like, yeah, cool, sounds good. No, hold on.
I'm not done. Let me cook.
Because I lied to him. And, okay, hear me out. So I didn't hear anything. I'm just an orphan, and I want to go find my opportunity. Like I'm an evil person. I just want to go find my power. I'm not doing that in an orphanage. I want my family to come with me, but they're not going to leave the orphanage.
Yeah.
What do? Let's burn down the orphanage. I need help.
The three of us do a session 0 together,
Yep.
and I thought I believed him about the plot, so I killed the lady that was raising us.
Yep. I was
Strahd definitely
waiting.
didn't use that against us.
Oh, I was waiting to use that bomb. Ooh, I was waiting to use that bomb.
And then it's like, when you told me about that in game, like, You motherfucker. That's
Cause
what.
I think you were trying to like pull one over on me and like give me like a lesson or something like that, and then the fact that you killed the matron came up. Like I protected this family, I killed the matron, and I'm like, I'm sorry, what? You killed her?
And then like you told me that you lied about it. Like,
Dude, I just wanted us to go on an adventure and all week together.
yeah.
Like we
And
were.
then,
So that's where the redemption paladin
yes,
came.
that's where the redemption. Like I told Sully about it first. Is like my father was a paladin guardian for what was it? Helm. So I prayed to Helm for help, and it's like I was fluctuating between retribution and redemption. As like, how is this gonna play? And Sarah convinced me to go redemption instead, and just try to destroy everything that Braxton wanted to do to make himself richer.
Yeah.
All right, so we can sit here and talk about D&D all night. Unfortunately, it is almost 7 o'clock. I have a couple more things I want to cover real quick, and I think a couple of y'all want to go. We have a D&D 100-room dungeon that one of my coaches running, Aaron, that a couple of my players, they want to go play.
Yes.
And so I'm just going to wrap this up real quick. This week at Dirty 20, join us Tuesday night. We have our trivia night like we do every Tuesday. This week is Dirty 20 adjacent trivia categories. I'm going to see if I can pull those up real quick. Besides that, we also have I'm going to pull because I can't talk and talk about the house campaign on Wednesday nights.
Wednesday nights we play in his homebrewed world. 500 years after the campaign, we played at his house. We are trying to right now we are in the tunnels underneath the dwarven city of Flivivik. We're looking for the portal to hell that is in the Drulgar city.
Good times.
It is, and we avoided we'll see if we get through them on the way back, but we avoided the illithids and the other things in the wall town.
Look, you're in the Underdark.
Yeah, the Underdark's
we're
scary.
we're in the Underdark, and it's already. We avoided the hook hoarders.
Yeah, you're traveling with a Korrid right now again.
Yep.
Because like I love when I love a
Korrid,
creature,
yeah,
I always throw the
Korrids.
creature back in, and it's just
Yes.
this little like gnomish fade creature that just likes to cast Amaluk's resilient, irresistible dance on
Yes.
people. Willy-nilly.
Hit two characters of the party on the way through the tunnel.
Categories for Tuesday nights, trivia, general knowledge also works here, referenced and 20. So join us Tuesday night for trivia. It is a Dirty 20 anniversary special trivia. Actually, I said talk about the campaign, which is great. I'm glad you did. But this Wednesday for the campaign, actually, I think we're going to do a one shot, a special D20 anniversary one shot.
Okay.
So join us for that. That starts at 7. There's at least 2 tables that are available. We have a couple people that are interested. If we grow too big, they might DM for us too. Thursday night, we have a group called St. Louis Game Devs that comes in. They come in once a month. They are small independent game developers local to St. Louis. They sit around and they talk about game developing and the processes for that. That is also open to the public. They like to talk to people who maybe are interested in getting into game developing or just interested in the process. So if you want to come in and talk to a bunch of local independent game developers, that is Thursday night, I believe also at 7 o'clock. I'm looking at them like they know, they have no idea. Friday night, Friday night, there is a group called FGC. Because Press Cut Grass would be FCG. FGC, Fighting Game Club. They come in, they play games like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, stuff like that. They bring in their own consoles, they bring in their own systems, they bring in their own, they have these pads. I don't know if you got, like, they look like
the
arcade pads.
Yeah.
They bring those in and they just sit over there all night and play those fighting games. So if you're interested in that, come in and join. There is a pinned message in our Everything page on Discord. If you are interested in that, check that pinned message out. We do have new weekly specials out. We have $5 wells and drafts on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Wednesday is half off appetizers. Fridays is 20% off max. Saturdays is half off desserts, and Sundays kids 10 and under eat free kids meal for kids 10 and under. I think I covered everything. Guys, it has been a pleasure. It has been a fantastic year. I thank you all for all of your support, and I look forward to many more great years coming down the line. Join us next week for Dirty Talk, same time, 6 o'clock on Sunday. Hopefully Ruth will be better, and we'll be here for that. Thank you all so much for watching.